Yeah, I completely agree.
How can there be any disagreement on this point?
There is though.
All right, there always is.
It's not just something I've heard other people call them F-flaps, and it's like, no, it's a flap.
Yeah, I always call them F-flaps.
Oh, you're one of those.
I was, and I had to train myself to say flap.
But you also
tough
say
transition.
SNES, don't you? You say
I
SNES.
do say
instead of
SNES. Yeah, I've never said
Yeah.
SNES. I'll never stop saying SNES.
Ouch.
I don't know. It must be an American thing. I don't know. We just never called it SNES.
Do you say NES as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, we call them
Oh.
NES.
Yeah.
NES and SNES.
NES and SNES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems
NES,
sufficient.
Super NES, SNES,
So-
NES.
But his girlfriend's called Nez, and he
I
calls
do.
her
I
NES
do.
as
I
well.
do call. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I call her Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh wow, that bedroom talk is gonna be hot.
Just gotta plug it in.
All right, Joe.
Okay, let's
Okay.
maybe start the show.
Hello everyone. So this is episode 15 now of Karthritis. It's been a while.
Many years.
So many years, yes, or a month.
Oh, it's been more than a
yeah.
month, I think.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Part of the delay is since Carol's not here today, let's put the blame on Carol. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all Carol's fault.
Yeah.
Happy to blame Carol.
Because he hasn't been keeping up with the D cuts, so
That must be why we're
must
slacking a bit.
be why.
That's it. Yeah.
Anyway, we got a brilliant guest for you today, right? So let's start with the introductions. And for no particular reason at all, today's question is, what would you give as a birthday gift for yourself?
Oh, that's kind of appropriate, I guess.
Nah.
Not for any reason, huh?
Right.
Okay. Well, how about you go first then?
I could go first for, again, no apparent reason.
No apparent reason.
Right.
Nobody knows the inside information that some people know.
I wouldn't think so, no. So if it was my birthday these days, I would probably get myself something like a 23andMe kit.
Really?
Yeah,
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
right.
It traces your genealogy.
Yeah, so you can find out how much retard you are, or Neanderthal, whichever.
Right.
Or Black, Asian, see where
Or
you're...
adopted.
Or adopted, yes.
Adopted.
Somehow that's a bit more sad.
See if your dad's lying to you or not.
That
Yeah.
happens a lot with those things, though.
That's true. That's true.
There's some good stories with those, isn't there? Like, so you find out, like the dad's been cheating or something, and dodgy children along the way. Excellent stuff.
Yeah. It's not all things you want to know. But that's what I would have decided. If
Had it
was-
been your birthday
Fair
Had
today,
it
though.
been my birthday today, yes.
Yeah.
Very boring, Marius. I don't. Why didn't you go for like a telly or I don't know, a new car?
I pretty much got everything else right.
Oh, fair.
What I don't have is the gene knowledge. So
Gene knowledge,
that's
knowledge of genes.
that's happening in about a month or so. I'm probably getting the results.
Cool.
Nice.
So it's gonna be a special episode.
Yeah, intrigued to know about that one.
Find out if Sargoth is Norwegian.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
may not tell the truth on that actually.
Oh, right. Okay, well, I'll go next then. Hello, everyone. I'm Clark, a.k.a. Zarkov. And I'm much cooler, so I'd go for a Casio G-Shock, because they're really, really nice watches.
What? Are those a 1919 digital watches?
No, Casio G-Shocks are things of beauty. They're like nice, big, chunky watches. And it's Casio. I only ever have Casio watches, because they're the best watches. And
Is this a commercial?
end of argument. And I haven't been paid to say that.
All right.
Yeah, but they're just really nice watches, G-Shocks, and they're quite expensive. They're like 300 quid. But I would buy myself one as a birthday treat if ever the opportunity arose. So,
Yeah.
I suppose I will go next. And well, it's kind of appropriate as well for certain people in this this chat currently, but I'm flying to Los Angeles this weekend, and we're going to Six Flags Magic Mountain, which is a roller coaster theme park that's got places all over the United States. And I'm also going to a Los Angeles Dodgers game versus the Chicago Cubs.
Nice.
So
you've
it's
already
a
bought
whole
this for
week-
yourself. This isn't a hypothetical
yeah.
thing.
No, it's happening this weekend. Yeah. So
Oh,
it's,
fair enough.
yeah.
But it isn't your birthday.
It will be in 9 hours, 10 hours.
Oh, 9 hours. Why didn't I know that?
That's okay.
I did know that. Didn't we once
Yeah.
upon a time plan a thing around this?
Somewhat, yeah. We tried to at least.
All right.
Well, happy birthday for tomorrow, then, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's all happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday to somebody else.
Happy birthday, Joe. Let's go.
No one else's birthday is today.
Nah,
It's only
probably
yours.
not.
No, couldn't be. No, couldn't be.
Couldn't possibly be
guys-
Marius's birthday or anything.
No.
No, that doesn't seem right to me. No.
Did you guys
Yeah.
all sing for Neo's birthday?
No, I did not sing anything.
I sang, but it never made the final cut.
You might be the only one who tried to sing, though.
Just tried being the
I don't know why it
operative
got
word.
cut.
When was this?
This was Neo's birthday, like maybe December,
Was it-
January,
was it
something.
The video
Sophie,
came out in February, didn't it?
yeah, but Sophie contacted everyone beforehand. Looking
Oh,
for,
right, that
like,
kind of thing.
videos and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended
Everyone
up
Yeah.
recorded, like,
I ended up completely forgetting. Sadly.
oh,
There was a lot of cringe there
Did you
anyway,
actually
though.
watch the video?
Yeah, I
Did
did.
you end up watching
Yeah,
the video?
Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah.
you saw the video.
okay,
So that just
me-
leaves Dave. Yeah.
Yep. Hello, I'm Moll of Guinness World Record fame.
Come on!
Every opportunity to get that.
okay. Okay.
Officially certified. And
Yep.
being the old man I am, my work allows you to buy 3 extra days leave a year. I'd buy myself 3 extra days of leave and just stay in bed for 3 days.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's the American way, right?
But you're already on full quota, I take it.
No, I could actually buy those 3 days leave.
All
but,
right.
uh,
Okay. So I know
the-
what
I
I
have
know
to-
what to get you then.
They cost me 3 days of pay to buy
Yeah.
the 3 days of leave, and I look at it and think, that's a lot of money for 3 days. I could just call in sick instead.
That's true.
Makes
Loophole.
sense, yeah.
But no, I don't do that. I end up just working and being tired instead.
Right.
No. As is life.
A lovely upbeat start.
Putting a nice downer on things there, Dave. Bringing us
Yeah.
all back to reality with a big bump.
Yeah. Cheers. Actually, Dave, do you want to take since this is your chance, let's take a couple of minutes to talk about your Guinness World Record, huh? So, how did this come about, and why?
Honestly, I have no idea how it came about. The reason
I think it's
why
right place, right time, right?
it all goes back to Lafungo being called out by a certain Mexican on speedrun.com about some of his times not having videos and how he was a mod claiming Super Mario Kart world records without videos, and how he couldn't possibly have ever driven anything faster than our immortal god Carol.
Mhm.
'Cause
Right.
Carol, being the only person on Earth who knows this new technique called NBT, and not only
Recently
just
discovered. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
for
recently
fuck's
discovered
sake,
by
come
the
on.
Japanese,
By the
but
Japanese.
mastered, I tell you, and only mastered by Carol.
Yeah.
The fact that Carol's second place time was set on PAL, which is just inherently something like 30 seconds a cup slower anyway, and was a one shot from about 10 years ago. So there was a little bit of an argument on speedrun.com about Lafungo, our overlord, single mod, only person allowed to do anything, having multiple single cup world records without videos.
Shady.
Now,
Oh.
I like to rub. That's, edit that one out.
He likes to
Careful.
rub the funk.
Oh boy.
Oh,
You know he's
right.
12 years old, right?
Yeah, that's not okay. Well,
I like
Yeah.
to rib Lafungo with the best of them, but
Freudian slip.
you know,
little bit.
at the end of the day, he is a very high level karter. He's top 5 in Mario Kart Super Circuit, I think at the time he was around 25 to 30th in Super Mario Kart. And looking at the time, that was being claimed as not possible for anybody other than Carol to have ever driven. I looked at it and thought, no, that's really easy. My stream's set up ready to go. I'll give it a one shot and see what I get. So plugged it in, did a one shot, stalled out on MC1, crashed into the pipe, messed up the CPUs, reset, gave it a second one shot. So first try, every try, except on its second try, and went through. I didn't use any items, so no feathers, no mushrooms. I think I missed a zoom start on one track.
No A button mode, you mean?
Well, I had the A button, I just didn't get anything worth using. I think I got like bananas and stuff like that. I got green shells, which I just tended to not want to fire because they just ricochet off and hit me anyway.
Right,
Right.
that's what they
Shelfie.
do. Yeah, right.
Yep.
So I missed one of the zooms, didn't use any speed items, and I think on another track I came to a complete dead halt, and I still beat the world record. So to say this world record was not maxed is a somewhat of an understatement, and you only have to look at what Scoob's done in the year following to see just how much of a joke that original time was. But so in defense of Lafungo, I posted this time, I posted the vid, I gave it a bit of an explanation saying how Lafungo's claim time was easy. I beat it within 10 minutes of trying. Here's the video. He didn't use any speed items, didn't get all the speed, didn't get all the start boosts. I actually came to a stop. I said if a good player actually tried to play it, that they would absolutely destroy it, and thought no more about it. And then a few months later, or maybe even longer than that, I don't actually remember, and Lafungo posted some pictures he took of the new Guinness World Record or Gaming Records book. I don't know if it was a 2019 one. I think it was. It was around September of last year, I think. And it was a German version of the book because he was at an airport or a train station or something in Germany, one of the many countries he's from. And for some reason, Guinness had found a way to deciding that we need a world record for Super Mario Kart. Moll's Mushroom Cup looks like the one we should go with.
Logical choice, if you ask me.
Oh my God.
Considering the years of history, Moll's one seems like the right choice.
So, from the Mario Kart that I play, which is Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64, I think there were 4 records which made the book. Neo made it for the most number of CDM wins or something like that. I made it for actually playing Super Mario Kart.
Certainly the stronger category, Moll. I mean,
and then Beck had a couple of times in for Mario Kart 64. So obviously I'm on the same level as Neo and Beck.
Obviously.
But that wasn't the end of it. I couldn't just have my name in a book because it just said DangerMoll. Who's DangerMoll? Nobody knows who DangerMoll is. So I contacted Guinness and just inquired as to the possibility of maybe them sending me a certificate. And they were like, yeah, sure, we'll send you a certificate. Can you just prove that you are this DangerMoll? Can you take a couple of screenshots from within speedrun.com with your user profile and stuff like that? Like just little areas of the screen where only you could get to. Didn't need my passwords or anything. They weren't going to hack me and steal my Mario Kart time.
That'd be a travesty.
So I took the screenshots, emailed it over. About a week later, there was a knock at the door. Got handed a sealed large envelope thing. I opened it up and there was my lovely certificate.
That's the most ridiculous thing.
These certificates are a scam because they're
no
made
way.
They are made in a size that the only possible frame you could ever get that fits them is the ones that Guinness sell for £40 each.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I've looked in all the usual places like The Range and Home Bargains and Dunelm and everywhere else which sells like frames for £5, and there's nothing which is the right size and shape. So I'm still looking on eBay and stuff for a cheap frame.
So their scam? They just give random people world records and then hope they want the frame in the end?
Why do you think they produce a book with like 10,000 names in it? 10,000 people in various books each year. How many of them are going
Genius, if you ask me. I'd
Pretty
never even
clever.
considered that. That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
to 40 quid a pop for the frame, which in US money is about $50.
And you ended
You
up
do
getting the frame, right?
You do 10,000 of those times $50, and I'm not doing maths, even though I have a maths degree. I'm not going
Yeah,
to randomly do
right.
the maths.
Pretty hard.
So, that's all of a sudden that's £500,000 or dollars. So
Well,
yeah,
congratulations, I guess, right? I mean, that's an order.
and no, I never actually got the frame. It's still in the certificate wallet. Still looking for a cheap frame somewhere. If
The
anybody
saga
knows where I
continues.
can buy a frame which is 36 centimeters in length and 28 centimeters in width.
36.28. I'll make a note of it, and
Yeah, it's something like that.
next
You send
time
me
I'm
their measurements, Dave, and I'll think about making you one.
You think it's 35, but it's actually about 35 and a half. And if you buy a frame which is 35 height, which you can get quite a lot of, it won't fit in. It'll just be bendy
Right.
in there.
Right.
I suppose I could sand off a bit at the top. I'm not spending that 40 quid on a frame. I refuse to.
Well, I consider making you one. If you send me some measurements, I could make you one over the summer, so it wouldn't have to cost you anything.
What you should do is get your own world record.
All right, I won't then.
Get your own certificate.
I just want you to send me that certificate so I
once
can then throw it in the bin.
Well, actually, I do have something for you to frame as well. I still have your poster from last year's CDM, even though you weren't there for very long, and it probably doesn't mean much for you.
Nice.
I did grab your poster, so I'll bring it along to. Well, I suppose next time.
I had no idea. Thank you very much for that.
It's nicely
great
rolled
stuff.
up in a do-it-yourself poster tube, aka kitchen roll
Toilet roll.
innards. No, kitchen
Kitchen
roll
roll.
innards.
Nice.
Bit more flash than toilet roll. But going back to my fantastic world record, so that has since been absolutely annihilated by Scoob.
daily.
Though, has he got a certificate for his time? I don't think so.
All right. Well, he didn't fall
not
for the scam.
recognised.
But the funny thing is, if Guinness had actually read my comments, they would have known that mine wasn't even a world record anyway, because I did even say in there that Dan _H actually had a faster mushroom cup time in his crappy All Cups time. Sorry, in his All Cups PR. So it wasn't even a world record anyway.
Lazy research on Guinness's part there.
Yeah, what I think is they went to the Mario Kart speedrun, they looked at who the mod was, saw it was Lafungo for every Mario Kart, asked him what the best times in all of Mario Kart are, and I think he said, yeah, Moll's such a great guy for defending me. I'll throw him a bone and see if Guinness will bite.
What a lovely guy that Lafungo is.
But yeah, and Dan Ocampo, our lovely Mexican questioner of Lafungo, since joined the players page, he may now know that more than Carol can MBT.
Doubtful.
And Lafungo actually beat his queried time and got a video for it. And that was the last we ever heard about speedrun.com because nobody submits that.
That's true. Nobody does.
Well, certainly nobody updates.
Right.
Power hungry mods. That's why. That's for a whole other story.
Yep, Joe for mod.
Joe for mod.
Let's start that one again.
That was a riveting story, Moll, I gotta say. When's the movie coming out?
Well, I'm still trying to get Michael Bay to do it because I want lots of explosions.
Yeah, you need special effects, yeah.
I mean, there is no real story, so it's going to need a lot of explosions.
Yeah, right.
And probably some Transformers. I think that's it for my achievements in Mario Kart. None of my things else I've done have really amounted to much.
Well, that's good enough, right? That's all we ever want, the Guinness certificate and frame.
Yeah, well, I'll never get a proper world record, so it's nice. Actually, no, I did get a Mario Kart Super Circuit world record last year.
18-way tie or something?
I think it's more like 40 odd way tie.
Sorry.
Jeez.
It's a 3-second shortcut lap on Cheeseland where you just have to shroom into a mouse at the right angle, and you do one of those things where you spin out on the finish line, and it always gives you a 3-second lap for the next lap.
Okay.
But I never submitted it because I don't submit.
Ah,
shortcut.
right. Yeah, I have the same world record, but I didn't submit also.
Yeah, and the fact that 40
Me
people,
too.
Nice, Clark.
No, I don't really.
it literally takes about 30 seconds to learn how to do it.
That much, huh? Okay.
If you actually do want a free Mario Kart world record, nobody cares about Mario Kart Super Circuit to begin with, let alone the shortcut world records in it. But if you want something to put in your forum, profile signature, that you are a world record holder.
Nice.
Cheeseland shortcut, just shroom into a mouse. I've seen blinking from Zargov.
Yeah.
Right. I'm back on the blink.
Okay, cool.
I'm dotting. That's what I'm doing.
Dotting.
Throwback. All right. We probably need to do a segment called World of World Records. Sad thing is, I can't remember anything worth mentioning. Maybe Sami's 10099 gets a mention, huh?
That's not a world record.
It is in a very arbitrary category.
It's the best time
All right.
for the worst version of the game,
Yeah.
i.e. PAL, being played suboptimally, i.e. non-MBT, but being played in a suboptimal way by not doing any pipe jumps. I mean, it's
Right.
for what it is, it's absolutely fantastic time, but it's not a world record.
Yeah, you are correct.
Otherwise, you can start creating world records for like tracks where you're zigzagging in and out of the ice cubes in certain ways on the vanilla lakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The world record is the fastest that you can do it. I see two rules normally, either shortcut or non-shortcut. MBT does not count as a shortcut technique to me. So for me, the world records are the MBT, the ordinary world records.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's roll it all back a bit. Sami did a thing, and it's a good thing, but it's not a world record. So should we just mention like a plethora of Scoob times then?
I know. I think talk about Sami's thing because he's been trying to do it for 20 years, and it is a fantastic achievement. But
Right.
let's just not call it a world record.
Right.
We don't want to
Just
give
an
kids
outdated
ideas
achievement.
that it is a world record.
All right. We don't want to give kids the wrong impression.
It's a PAL ancient way best.
that is what it is. Yes.
And if you can say PAL and make it sound dirty as you say it,
Okay. So
You're getting aroused there, Marius.
I'm good.
I bet you wish you had Fenner back.
He can neither confirm nor deny.
No, it's all good. The sad thing is we need like someone like Lafango who, speedrun.com aside, is a fountain of youth and or knowledge when it comes to world records.
Carol sort of fits that bill as well sometimes, but the
Yeah,
fun goes just
SMK.
different level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I guess we could always just look at the World Records history site and see what's
Yeah.
the latest world record.
I mean, so how far along? I mean, how long ago was your last Karthritis? I mean,
it's like 2 months since we did a numerical.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's been about 6 billion world records in Mario Kart since then.
Yeah.
I mean, in Mario Kart 64, there wasn't huge amounts of world records in May. It's been quite quiet.
Oh, I think Abney got the Mumu farm.
Yeah, Dan got Warrior Stadium 3 lap.
Right.
Nearly got the sub 420. He got 420.04. Beck got Mumu Farm 3 lap. That was already a sub 126, so it's down to 125.94. And not updated on the site yet, but I know that Matthias actually got Mario Raceway Flap world record. I think he initially tied it for a 4-way tie there, but since beat it. So Matthias is now
So there has
Mario Raceway
in the last.
shortcut lap.
So if you go in the last week, going back 7 days, there's been 26 world records across all Mario Karts.
What?
Oh, you on the history side? Is there a
Yeah.
combined one which does all of them
Yeah.
together?
So
Yeah. So you
this-
just go to home and then recent world records. There's 26 in the last 7 days.
and they're all just MK8.
No, there's some MK64 in there, DS 64 again, MKSC, MK7. There's a lot of DXs. About half of them are DX.
Is it possible to just skip this segment altogether and link to this page?
Probably.
No, but the fun part is talking about specific world records that did something to someone or whatever. So yeah, I haven't actually watched too many of the Scoob world records. There's been like
Yeah.
4.
I see the times and think, well, they're
Yeah,
going to be
it's just
just
gonna
like
be
the old
Scoob
world
quality
records,
anyway.
just slightly better.
So yeah, it's always good.
And I think the problem now with Scoob is that he uses strats that I can't do, so I don't really learn anything watching them. Because
Yeah, that's true.
his recent MC3 world record, I just know he's going to be, slapping his butt onto the pipe and generating a boost which lasts 3/4 of the track or something weird. And yeah, just stuff which I can't do. So I'll actually look at what the world record was like 2-3 years ago and watch that video, because that's what's helpful for me if I'm
Right.
playing a track.
No, I get that.
And it's the same with all these hot boost, flat boost, weird stuff. To me,
Yeah.
Are people
It's
using
just
hot
impossible.
boosts right now?
Yeah,
I mean,
some people are.
aside from MC1, I mean, they've been trying to do it at other places.
Scoob. Count on Scoob.
Yeah.
Scoop's done it all.
I mean, outside of MC1, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't think there's many other places that could really be exploited like that.
I think Chuckawalla 1, you could do it on the fast lap as well if you missed the flat boost, because you need the
Okay.
flat boost to get the final boost. But if you missed the flat boost, you could still possibly generate it in time using a hot boost as well. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's not faster, right? So
well, I don't know if it would be faster to flat boost into hot boost and then cut more. Because essentially what you're doing is generating the boost as fast as you can and then cutting
Yeah.
across the mud. So if you can generate that boost a little bit quicker and cut a bit more of the mud, it may well save you some time.
yeah, I hate to bandwagon with Carol here, but at the highest level, SMK kind of falls apart to me.
Yeah, it's only useful to 2 or 3 people. If your name's not Carol or Scoob, and possibly Sammy on MC1, if any of them ever beats him, I don't see anybody else using it. for a
No,
long time.
right, but I think Carol is kind of put off by all this micro tech to some extent.
It just doesn't seem very feasible. You know, like right now, it's just like one of those
Yeah, but you
not
know,
tests only, but it
give it 10
doesn't seem
years.
like you can consistently do it. Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, the hot boost, it's as feasible as doing a flat boost. All
Well,
you're
a flat
doing
boost seems a little bit more consistent than a hot boost, though.
But it's the same kind of thing. Instead of pressing L and R at the same time, you're releasing
Yeah.
R and then pressing L the next frame.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's just training your hands to do that motion. But
Yeah, I can't be
flat
bothered with that.
Flat boosting has a lot more uses all over the place. Plus, you can see that you've actually flat boosted properly, so you know that you're going to generate the boost. Whereas with the hot boost, you can't actually tell if you've done it at the right time
That's true. Yeah.
until you try and release the boost. So you're either going to boost or you're going to not boost. And with flat boost, you can practice it all over the place because pretty much anywhere you can boost, you can just flat boost instead. So.
Mhm.
right.
But I'll never do it.
No, me neither. I don't even flat boost. Fuck that shit.
I don't even know how to do a flat boost.
Yeah, but
Wouldn't
so
even know
you
how
played
to
a
do
good
it.
version of the game, so your boosts charge a lot quicker than
That's true. Yeah.
people who were born, unfortunately, on the other side of the pond and were forced to play a bad version of the game.
But now you guys all have the good version, so you know you can just
Yeah, but
play the NTSC one.
for some reason they keep holding this world championship and putting it on the bad version,
I know.
I've been campaigning against that for years, Moll.
which kind of
It's the damn
forces you to
French.
play this bad version for practice. I mean, if you ever look at what NTSC natives do when they come to CDM, most of them they start playing PAL and think, "What is this garbage?" and can't drive.
Yeah. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I only went to one. I'll never go back. Right.
At which point they look in the direction of the bar or the beer fridge and see what all the cool kids are doing instead.
Triples.
That's right.
That's what they're doing.
That's exactly
Truth.
right.
All right. So I have two actual topics for today.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Sure.
So the
Yes.
first one is I'm just gonna toss you guys in there. The resurgence of SMK online. What's going on
Right.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yorkshire
my fault
people.
actually. No, it is my fault.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dave.
I mean, you can blame Yorkshire for activating me.
Okay.
Flicking a switch and turning me on into doing things.
That sounds naughty.
No, so I mean, if you want to take it back a few steps before the whole net play thing,
Sure.
there's been a bit of a resurgence of Mario Kart, or Super Mario Kart in particular, should I say, in the UK.
Yeah.
Quite a few active people, UK and Ireland, we'll call it. So there was some discussions on Discord initially about a meetup and stuff, and then a WhatsApp group was created, and people were invited to that WhatsApp group called, UK SMK Meet or something like that. And long story short, over the May bank holiday weekend, which probably means absolutely nothing to people outside of the UK, but we get a public holiday the last Monday in May. So over that weekend, there was a Mario Kart meetup held, probably the first one in the UK for a few years since Sammy used to do them. And this one was at Yorkshire SMK, aka Chris Smith, aka Chris' real name, in Leeds. So he hosted it around his. There was only 4 of us who actually attended in the end, but it was good fun. And it got me playing a bit of Mario Kart again. And Chris is very, shall we say, proactive in his Super Mario Kart. He's always looking to solve problems which most of us don't even see them as problems, but he was looking at things like custom ROMs and wanting to be able to custom pick tracks and use save states and stuff like that. So I started looking into my SD to SNES again, which is my Super Nintendo flash cart. And I noticed that a few months ago they'd actually got working save states on the SD to SNES. So I can now actually do save states on my Super Nintendo. Not something I've been widely advertising for Mario Kart because don't want fans submitting 80 world records in a day, The good thing is it's actually a bit glitchy, so you get a lot of graphical glitches and sound glitches with the save states. Now, I have worked out ways around those, but it's good for replaying tracks on cups without. So it's good for GP practice without, the sound and the graphical glitches. But if you were trying to, TAS, an actual course world record by using multiple save states, it's too clunky and too glitchy to be able to do that on the SNES. Thank the Lord, because I think Sammy would have a heart attack if people were able to do stuff like that convincingly on the Super Nintendo. Now, I will say that this is all in beta at the moment, so there is a chance that they can improve it and make it better. But after looking at that, I decided to, after having gone back and looking at save states on SD2NES, I decided I'd go back and look at emulators again because I wanted to be able to practice GP. And I thought, I'll see if I can be quite good. So I was wondering, are emulators any better than the last time I played Super Mario Kart on an emulator, which was years and years and years ago when we were playing multiplayer on ZSNES, and it controlled horribly for me back then. So I looked into RetroArch, something which I tried to use for emulator play a couple of years ago, and I always gave up because it has the worst interface I've ever seen.
Is that true? Because people rage about that interface.
I absolutely hate it. There's no you can mess up things. There's no undo, and I used to change a setting and it will cause it to crash, and it used to
Brilliant.
drive me nuts when I tried to do it a couple of years ago. But I stuck at it this time, and I had it working, and I started playing SMK with like a USB controller, and RetroArch uses magic. Some people would say it uses technology and innovation. So you're not actually playing the game live. You're playing save states, but it's updating the save states every 2 frames. So it basically eliminates latency from the game by applying your actions to save states. Or, as I call it, magic.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
magic.
seems legit. Yeah.
I understood some of those words.
And you can change the latency adjustments from like 1 frame to 2 frame to 3 frame. So even if you've got a crappy laggy TV rather than a gaming monitor, you can actually make it play like there's no lag at all. And I think this is because an actual SNES playing Super Mario Kart, hardware-wise, has 4 frames of lag in it. So you can actually adjust versus the hardware. You can reduce the hardware lag down to match your screen lag. So you essentially eliminate lag. It's how it does it. I'm probably talking utter crap here, but
Well,
which is why I refer to the word magic.
yeah, I was gonna say
Right.
I'm a little bit aroused right now. That
So
It's really good, Marius. I was skeptical because I was used to playing SNES
right,
during
right,
the SNES hot days and stuff. I've played this. Dave sorted out all the settings. He's done loads of work. And he just gave me the settings, and I put them in. Started playing, and I'm like, wow, I can't tell the difference anymore. It's
yeah,
really really good.
I thought it was really good, and that was playing with a USB controller. Back in the ZSNES days, I always was really jealous of the people who had the Super Smart Joy adapter for the SNES
smart
back
joy
to PC,
boys. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
because
Master Race.
I could never get one. They were always sold out.
that's
Nobody was
true.
selling them secondhand, and all the other USB adapters were absolute garbage, which would just lock
Yeah,
you up
yeah.
every time you went around a control corner. So just on the off chance, I just typed Super Smart Joy into Google, and lo and behold, somebody who had 3 of them secondhand on eBay for 20 quid each. So straight off, I ordered it. Let a couple of other people know. They ordered theirs. I plugged it in and I started playing RetroArch Mario Kart, and as Clark said, after about maybe 2 to 3 minutes of adjustment, there is a really, really tiny slight difference, but one which your brain makes the adjustment to in 2 to 3 minutes. It's like playing with somebody else's controller or playing on a different TV, where it's just not quite what you're used to, but you're not sure why. And I started doing some one tries, and I was getting like 107 Chuckle Island 2. I did a second try one try, because a first try one try on Vanilla Lake 2 never happens. I did a second try one try on Vanilla Lake 2, and I got like a low 58 seconds. And my one tries are never sub-minute on VL2, and it's because I could actually see what I was doing.
Come on, that sounds.
Having it on a bigger gaming monitor with the vibrancy of the colours, and that you can actually tell all the difference between the ice and the snow so easily, and all the ice blocks. And because I'm used to playing on a little 14-inch
Right.
CRT, my eyesight has been damaged by health issues over the years.
Masturbation. Yes.
So I'd actually stopped playing CRTs a couple of years ago, and I started playing using upscalers like OSSC and Retro
Yeah, but
2X.
those make some latency issues, right?
No, not at all.
Really?
So I think the OSSC and the RetroTink have something like 5 nanoseconds of lag, which is like 5 millionths of a second.
Yeah. So it's not a frame, so it doesn't matter, right?
It's still too much.
Yeah, for sure.
It's loads.
The only
Yeah.
lag you get is from the monitor which you're using.
Yeah.
And I'm hooked up to a high-speed gaming monitor, and I actually split the output to a CRT and to my gaming monitor. Set my phone to record at 240 frames per second, because phones now have slow modes where you can do like 240, 400
right.
frames per second. So I just recorded at 240 frames per second, and there was less than one. There's about one frame of lag difference at 240 frames per second, which is like 0.004 of a second. Now, my gaming monitor was actually ahead of my CRT at the bottom of the screen, because CRTs
Right.
don't instantly display the image; they actually scan it down. So a 60 hertz, NTSC monitor will update its image 60 times per second, but it doesn't do it all at once. It does it.
Yeah.
It scans it from top to bottom. So the very top of the screen will have zero lag, but the bottom of the screen, I don't know if it has like half a frame of lag, because I don't know how long it takes to go up and down and stuff like that. But the bottom of my gaming monitor actually was ahead of my CRT. The center screen was very similar, which is where you play on Mario Kart, and the top of the screen where the time is was about 1/240th of a second behind. It's imperceivable.
I'd
All
say.
of my PRs in SMK and Mario Kart 64 for the last year and a half, 2 years have been done on a gaming
Upscaler.
monitor using upscalers.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you think Sami could do anything on this setup?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no lag at center screen.
No.
Or if
Right.
there
Right.
is,
But maybe he's too used to the aesthetics of the CRT. I mean, he's put in a couple hours.
have you seen Sammy's CRTs?
Well, it's been 10, 12 years, but yeah.
Yeah, and 10, 12 years
Well, he
ago, they
hasn't
were all
changed them.
about 40 years old. I think they were like the very first color CRTs ever.
Okay.
They've got those
Some
like
of them are
retro.
ridiculous. Yeah.
They've got those retro white plastic
Oh.
curved edge screens where it kind of jolts out.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously collected a load of old CRTs for the gaming and stuff.
Sure.
And I was used to playing on a Sony Trinitron, like a flat screen CRT, which is
That's
really
a
nice.
28-inch or something?
No, I got a 14-inch one.
Oh, 14.
14, yeah.
Flat screen CRT.
Yes.
That's niche.
It's not widescreen, but it's flat screen.
Right.
All the late model Sony Trinitron were flat screen, from 14-inch up to like 32 or
Yeah, I think I
big
had
they
a
did them.
28 myself.
And they're fantastic. They'll take PAL, they'll take
Sure.
NTSC,
Yeah.
they'll take it. They'll take RGB SCART in the back. Whatever you throw at it. The picture was great, but this, even being a 14-inch CRT, they are still chunky as hell. And living in central London, my apartment, clock's been there. It's not the biggest one. It's fine for me and one person, but I don't want a CRT in my living room and a CRT in my bedroom. When I already have like a gaming monitor in my bedroom, I'd rather just have a tiny little box that I can attach to it and attach to my SNES,
Yeah, I
rather
get
than
that.
have to
yeah.
find space for another CRT. So yeah, the RetroArch, after a few minutes adjustment, I can't tell the difference. But this was offline play. The big test was always going to be, how does it handle online play? And I was actually cautiously optimistic, knowing how it worked, where you were playing essentially on a lag adjusted save state setting. I was thinking, as long as you live where the latency between you and the person you're playing doesn't exceed 4 frames, you should always be able to adjust the lag to make it completely smooth. Because you can adjust for the hardware lag, or at least I would be able to with my high-speed gaming monitor. So tweaked around with settings, got somebody else to play, and tested it, and yeah, it works really well online.
Follow-up question. Did Clark manage... I mean, very little offense. Did Clark manage to set this up himself?
So I created a Discord for it where I put down what all the settings at that time we'd use. So literally, it was a download RetroArch, get the ROM, install
Yeah,
RetroArch,
yeah.
change this in this group of settings, change it to all these. In this group of settings, change it to all these. There was a couple of settings where you kind of have to test out on yourself for what's best, depending on whether you're playing on a laptop, a desktop, a good monitor, a bad monitor, or something hooked up to a TV. But those are just like changing a 1 to a 2 or a 3 sort of thing, and just seeing how it feels.
Right.
Online play is not quite as smooth as the offline play. Offline, I can't tell the difference between a SNES and Retro Watch. Online tends to feel a tiny bit heavier, but it's such a small difference that I can still do pretty much any MBT I want to attempt,
Right.
or that I would normally attempt in GP or match race, and I can do it to the same success online playing match play.
Right.
Now, when I play Chris, aka Yorkshire SMK, I get like a perfect connection. When I play Clark, even though Clark's only about 20 miles away from me, I get where it feels ever so slightly heavy, where it feels
Yeah.
like there's like one frame of lag in. Now that's probably something I could adjust myself on my end, but I just can't be bothered to be switching one number around every time I play, just from a 2 to a 3. And my brain adjusts to it after a couple of tracks. Your brain naturally adjusts to just one frame of lag. It's something you just adjust to. And
One
it doesn't really.
should be fine, but have you played versus people further away?
So I played against Irish champion Paul.
Yeah.
Who's over in Dublin. To be honest, it was hard to tell what it was like playing against him. He was that bad. he did win a couple of tracks, but they were like lightning infused wins, shall we say? This is the man who is challenging everybody. CDM. He's going to be top 60 now.
Free money.
I think it's good.
I think he's in for a shock, isn't he?
Yeah, it's good to be optimistic, but as long as you can get past like your first encounter to multiplayer against actual players,
Yeah.
don't let your head drop. So he's been challenging Carol for online play, and it's been dubbed. I don't know if you watch South Park. Well, I do know you watch South Park. If you're familiar with the episode with the fighting chickens.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Irish Paul has been dubbed McNuggets, and I don't remember the name of that behemoth chicken which was slaughtering all the other chickens.
Oh yeah.
Bazcock or something, whatever it is. But that's Carol, and we're still waiting for that show match to go ahead.
Hey, we need to get. I heard Drew was in some financial trouble. He should put all his money on this.
Yeah, stick it all on McNuggets.
If he wins, it all sorts out.
So I also did play Carol online. I caught him.
Carol managed to set it up. Is there audio involved?
Yeah, there was audio involved.
Huh.
I think we were. I think we were just chatting in chat rather than on and off. Because normally when I play, I stream and I do a 2-person Discord so that the person I'm playing, we get like both people's audio on stream so we can have a chat while we play. I don't know if I did that when I was. No, I didn't stream when I was playing Carol because I didn't know if he'd be able to. I didn't know if he'd be able to get his setup working, and I didn't know if we'd have to tweak a few things, so it seemed a bit cruel. But we just played through all 20 tracks in match race, and I won 11-9. It will never happen again.
Okay, so it's not. So it doesn't work on distances.
Yeah.
Well, I think I got up to a 6-0 lead.
Also, adjustment issues.
And then Carol kind of adjusted. Because when you play net play, sometimes half the battle is tricking your brain into thinking it's going to play okay, because you just assume it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
It takes a while for you to actually realize, actually, no, this is playing really well. I don't need to kind of do what I was trying not to do. I can actually just play normally and it'll be fine. So yeah, we played, and then we played some battle modes, and I wish I had that on video.
Right.
Carol took French RNG and multiplied it by every person in France. It was absolutely outrageous. He went star, red, star, star, red, 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 red. And this isn't even joking here. It literally was star, red, star, star, red, 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 red. I can't remember if there was a 5th red after that or if I was already dead by then.
Probably lightning afterwards.
But I was running around banana, feather, green shell, Like, I finally get a red shell and he just gets another star, and it's like, oh bloody hell! It was unplayable, and I can't remember the final score. It was 8 or 9-0 or something like. No, I won. I think it was 7-1 or 8-1. We played 8 or 9. I got one kind of lucky win where I think he got random greened when I had a red, so I was able to combo him a little bit. But if you watch Project Timmy and you see some of the item look Lafungo gets and Carol gets in that, it was like that, just turned up to 11. It was crazy. I mean, I'm not known as a battle mode player, so I kind of would have needed that RNG to be reversed to have stood a chance. But playing somebody who is a lot better than you, and B, just on permanent star red, was just unplayable. And Carol also played Yorkshire SMK, and that was a bit of a drubbing in Carol's favour. Again, Carol won the match race this time, and then absolutely destroyed in battle mode against Chris. Carol claims to still not be very good at battle mode, but I think this year he might actually.
No. Don't even bother saying it.
I think he might actually make a quarterfinal.
Wow.
Oh, okay, so not silver.
No, I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the level of Geo. I don't know if Harold's going. Neo. I think those four and Duff. I think, and even Sammy now. Actually, I think you've got 6 people there who are.
Yeah.
No matter how much practice you put in against Lafungo, I can't see him beating any of those. But I could see him beating everybody else and making a quarterfinal.
All right.
And I don't think if he gets a good quarterfinal and gets somebody who maybe gets Duff, who's messing about with DK and making mistakes,
Right.
he might get a respectable score in his quarterfinal, but I can't see him getting past the quarterfinal for that. And in terms of CDM in general, I find it hard to look past Scoob pretty much any mode this year.
Right. I think that's.
Going for the clean sweep, the Grand Slam.
I don't think it'll happen. I think
No.
somebody will win something else, but I'd put him as a heavy favourite across
Yeah,
the modes. I'm not sure about battle mode because I don't know, Geo and Harold, what kind of shape they'll arrive in, or if they'll arrive.
Well, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I think Scoop's chances this year are about as good as they've ever been for anyone.
Yeah.
And time trials is always such a toss-up because it's one mistake and you're out, and there are again 5 or 6 players capable of winning it. So, but GP and match race, I think he's just going to dominate this time.
Yeah, I really like what Carol's saying about Scoob in GP, is that he's like the CPU whisperer or something. He never crashes into CPU characters.
When he's going through the pack, he's like a ballet dancer.
Right, yeah.
It's like you see people in SMK that control using hops, and they just like one hop left, one hop right, another hop right, another hop left. It's like they're just like permanently on one foot, just like jumping around, and he just does it perfectly. I go to the CPU and I think I'll go inside you, and then DK turns into me and kills all my speed or whatever. Scoob is just like tippy-toeing, bouncing in and out, in and out. You never see him hit them.
No.
And it's crazy. And on some of the tracks like Ghost Valley 2, where he's like lapping them all twice and he's just going past them all. And it doesn't matter whether it's on the inside of a corner or like taking 2 on one little stretch. It's like hoppy left, hoppy right, hoppy left, 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 right, right, in, and just in and out. And he's not losing any time doing it. He's just, it's like he's like watching the ballet the way he's doing it. It's crazy.
Right. No, I agree. I actually wanted to for the last topic talk a little bit about the upcoming Alpha events. But first, I just want to, Clark, your impression of the RetroArch solution for online SMK, because you played the SNES days and you played the SNES OT days, right?
Yeah. So I played a lot of SNES, and it wasn't pretty. I found when you played online, there were no adjustments you could make. You were lucky on the old SNES if if you got a bit of lag, it was all down to people's connection. Whereas this, I mean, it's still not. I don't think it's as silky smooth as what Dave gets. But Dave is generally hosting, and I'm playing on a laptop over Wi-Fi, and it's
Which
still
doesn't
considered.
have your battery plugged in either.
Yeah, it doesn't have my patches. I'm just like limited, like hour and a half max. But because I'm too lazy to move it over. But it's like it is considerably better than it ever was on in the SNES days, and it is fun to play. Yeah, I think if I'd happily play a few more matches in a row if I was moved my charger over to where I could put my laptop. But it's also worth noting as well that some of the names that are now sort of like, so this WhatsApp group, as it were. So it sounds like it's just sort of Dave, me, Carol, and Yorkshire SMK, but you've also got Jonathan Steele in there from Mario Kart Double Dash fame. Paul Tanney.
Tanny.
That's a name you did. Yeah, good old Tanny. He's back in there. Paul O'Kelly. He's the Irish guy.
Yeah.
So it's a decent amount of UK guys
But
playing. Carol and Neo are also. Sorry, Neo's also in there.
Yeah, Neo's lurking, I think.
Yeah, he's lurking.
Just making sure the English don't get too good.
Can we just delete the app group and move it over to Discord? Yes, please. Okay, cool.
No.
Well, there is a SMK NetPlay Discord.
All right.
Which I set up, where you can go in, see what all the Retro Watch settings is, set it up yourself, request some games. You know, playing to Ireland, playing to the Netherlands is fine. I'm sure playing to Norway would be fine as well.
But
just going back briefly to what Chris said about Jonathan Steele.
Yeah.
This guy is amazing. The amount of talent he has is unbelievable.
Oh, he's something.
So, we were talking about earlier about the UK meetup we had in Leeds at the end of May. This is where we started teaching Jonathan Steele how to NBT. Or rather, Adam Ferguson, who is another person who we didn't mention, Kepler.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Kepler, yeah.
He's top 30 now. He overtook me recently. So he's UK number 3. He's in there as well. So him and Yorkshire SMK were teaching Jonathan Steele how to NBT at the end of May. He's now at the position where he's, I think he recently got like a sub 11 seconds KB2 fast lap, where he didn't even do a risky ending. So he could have beaten my fast lap with a slightly more risky ending. So it's not going to be long, I think, before you see Jonathan Steele. He's currently 77. He'll walk into the top 50 in the next month or so.
Wait. He has been playing for years, right?
No.
He plays all the Mario Kart, so he might have been on the site for years, but he wasn't actively playing.
No, but I think he played some non-MBT or something.
Yeah, but not much and not frequently.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's more of a newer karts, but he's just incredibly talented. And now he's learning MBT. He's ripping his timesheet up. He'll go as high as he wants to go, into the top 30 at least.
That is highly demotivational, but good for him.
And then it's a question of how far he wants to push it. I think this is somebody.
Would he go to CDM?
He's not going this year, I don't believe. I don't know about future ones. He did go to a meet in Leeds. I know it's not particularly far for him, but
yeah, but he is. I don't know. He seems quite motivated when he's talking in the WhatsApp group. He's still playing quite frequently, so I hope to see him rise up to the top. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, sure.
Someone to challenge Layla, and maybe. Well, never know, Sami, but certainly Layla could be within shout there.
Yeah, well, I think the next person to challenge Layla from that little group will be Kepler, Adam Ferguson on the site. I mean, he's getting a lot of PRs still. I don't know if he got anything this week. I don't think so. But he's 32nd at the moment. So he's still a good 10 average finish points behind Layla. But whatever he plays, he seems to PR on. He doesn't seem to have hit any wall as of yet. Cool. It's just whether he can make that breakthrough and start getting, the top 10 times, the top 15 times consistently.
Yeah. But while we're talking about sort of high-ish or UK-based SMKs at the moment,
Okay.
just looking at the list of people who are going to the CDM, who is Simon Reed? That's a name I'm not familiar with.
I don't know. Is that a battle mode only player?
So Sami recruit probably.
So no, he's from South Ockenden. I don't even know where that is.
What's he
And
signed up
he's,
to play?
He's doing all the modes, and he's there the whole week.
Huh.
Is he on the site?
I don't
don't
recognize the name.
I know. It's an interesting one.
Where's the player?
Also, speaking of people going, there are a lot of Brits going this year. There's 3, 4, 5. There's 9, 10 currently.
Oh wow.
Simon Reed is on the players page.
Ranked.
His average finish in PAL is 322.3, so he's down in the 300s.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have seen his name then.
No, I forget that the SMK site makes you press a button to see anybody who's
Outside
not
of
good enough to make the top 100.
Yeah.
So he's from London.
The Are You Crap button. He's 325th.
Are you crap button? That's nice.
It basically is. Press this button if you want to see times outside of the top 100.
Yeah.
And generally, the only people who want
Are
to
you crap?
generally the only people who want to see those times are the people whose times they actually are. So it is basically you're a bit crap, aren't you?
Yeah.
Press this button.
Press
so we
they
can
change
save-
to that.
I'm sure it's a saving on data, and so that the website doesn't host. I don't know how much data a list of a few hundred extra names is going to take up, but to me it does seem like an "Are you crap? Press this button."
Right.
Actually, "Are you crap? Put a tick in this box." Yes, confirm.
Yes, I am very crap.
I mean, it's a good motivation to get all your times in the top 100.
Yeah, I don't think all of mine are.
No, usually when I come back to SMK, like every 8 years or some shit, I'm wobbling in and out of the top 100 every time. So I'm sometimes crap, I guess.
So there's 10 UK people confirmed already. I don't know if we're waiting
Admittedly,
on...
2 of those, one of them is my girlfriend, and the other one's Chris Smith's girlfriend.
Yeah, but your girlfriend's playing.
Yeah, she's actually going to compete in time trial. Yeah,
And the funny thing is, she won't come last.
No, I know.
No. Helios.
Especially if Carol's playing.
Oh,
Unless somebody wakes Nitran up midway.
Yeah,
through
Nitran.
Yeah, so.
To be honest, I think
Interesting.
it might be a good contest between her and Simon if you teach her a few moves. Didn't you say she beat you at battle mode or something recently?
Yeah, so I was like, we were playing some battle mode. I said I could do with some practice, and so I said, right, I won't use green shell. I won't use red shells. I'll just use anything other than red shells. And yeah, she proceeded to beat me 4-3, which was something. So shows how good I am at battle mode. But yeah, she's been learning how to drive on time trial and GP and stuff. So it's been quite brutal for her because I've been playing a bit of GP and then she's just been pooling around at the back getting smashed up by everyone.
Right.
Dragging around the CPU. But
when you play GP, what character is she using?
She started off she started off using like Yoshi and getting bounced around, but she's since moved on to Luigi. She much prefers using
fantastic.
Luigi. So.
Another Team Weege.
Team Weege.
She's not signed up, so there's not going to be a battle for that character from me.
No.
That's the thing which you see so many people at CDM who think that they have to play with DK and Bowser. Some kind of pride thing. That was something I swallowed last year and just thought, I made it up into the top 30 in time trials, but I'm not good enough to play with DK and Bowser. I'm also no longer in top 30 in time trials, but so yeah, I switched to the Weege and it was so much more fun.
Yeah, I quite like using him on some tracks as well, especially on Star Cup. I'm moving more towards maybe using Luigi because you're always going to crash on some of them. No, Team Ouija, man. We're going to be fighting over it.
Ouija's my new Twitch emote. I finally got that. Because you get three emote slots when you're affiliate, and I only ever bothered with the one, which is the no double lightnings emote.
Pro strats.
I finally got around to doing a second one, which is a Ouija one. I'm losing weight at the moment, so my third one might be a picture of my face in some non-fat form.
Fat Moll.
Well, I've lost about over 2 stone this year, so
Very nice.
I should
Good
be
man.
I should be fairly streamlined by the time you guys see me.
Are you aiming for the top 5 sexiest men at the CDM?
It's not
You aiming for a
sexiest.
spot?
That's a tough one.
It's hottest.
Oh, hottest. Sorry, my bad. Hottest men at the CDM.
I think Sargoff, you were the first person I posed this question to.
Yeah,
I think it was when we were on stream.
It started quite the kerfuffle.
I think you asked me if I had any questions or something, and I just asked
Yes.
you
I didn't know any better.
who your top 5 hottest men at CDM were, and you seemed taken aback by the question.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure we ever got an answer to that.
I think I at some point said, well, you have to put Matt Ballard up there, but
Yeah,
you couldn't get off the first position of very very Scoob. That was your only answer.
This was at CDM 2018.
Oh, it's changed.
Well, it's always Harold if Harold's there.
Oh right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was Team Scoob. Everybody else seemed to be Team Matt Ballard. I think
It's just those guns.
somebody was Team Neo in there as well.
Blind.
Blind.
I don't mean that really. He's a handsome guy.
So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm
Nice.
sure we'll do that again this year, Moll. It's on stream, sure.
Well, you need to figure out your list. But if
Beforehand.
Harold is,
Well, what if someone unexpected brings their A game?
what you mean, like a new slimline Moll?
Yeah, Dave
Well,
might be bringing it.
To be honest, Carol,
Could be a contender.
Clark, you've seen me streamline. I don't think I'm going to be a contender.
No, I think you might be there, Dave. If you grow some stubble, mate.
Yeah.
I do have a beard, so.
I think Carol might be in with a shout with this because whenever my girlfriend sees him on stream, she's like, "Oh, he's quite handsome."
Yeah,
So,
That's probably not good for you, Clark.
yeah.
I don't know. It's only Carol. He'll always come second anyway.
all right.
As long as it's not your girlfriend coming first.
Yes.
I was going to make a comment, but she likes gingers anyway, doesn't she? So
yeah. Well, me being a prime example. So
that's what I was going to say. So she'll take one look at Carol and realise he's ginger and decide no comment is not actually relevant in this case.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's to be confirmed then. Marius, we wait with bated breath to see who your top 5 hottest men at the CDM are.
I'm gonna put some real thought into this, though.
Yeah, so 10 UK people signed up for SMK in Alphen, which I hope is going to be less than the total number of people we get for the Mario Kart 64 meet in Alphen the month before. I don't know why we always struggle to get people to come and play Mario Kart 64. To me, it is the most fun of all the Mario Karts.
I think if you were to hold it in America, you wouldn't struggle to get.
Well, they hold the meet in America and they get 30 odd people to it.
Yeah.
It's a meet I'd never go to because
sure.
they don't allow drinking or stuff.
It's the no fun allowed zone. Yeah.
It is basically. It's.
Yeah.
I think my problem with American stuff is it's probably not really something to put on the broadcast, but it's a whole religion thing. It seems
He's gone there.
They seem to want to suck the fun out of everything by being religious all the time.
It's not
Fun
restricted to
sponges.
America, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, you don't get it so much in Europe. Although
Sure.
if you ever hear the story of my French exchange, Dean. So I went on a French exchange when I was doing. Can't bring up a topic completely off topic. So this is where you go and live with a French family for a week or two, and a couple of months later, their child comes and lives with you for a week or two. So I went off to this French family. You fill in a form beforehand, and I was crazy when I filled in a form. So I put down that I was shy and I like chess. mean,
What?
when in reality, okay, I might be a little shy occasionally, put a couple of drinks in me, which I was doing when I was 15, and I'd be drinking, playing football and being boisterous. So I ended up being matched with somebody else who was shy and liked chess, and whose family belonged to a cult.
Oh no.
I'm liking this story.
So I'm on this French exchange, and every morning they all get up at 6 o'clock, put on these weird robes, and then disappear out of the house for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They're known as being very strange. One of the local French girls who had a little crush on me wrote me a bit of a love letter, and in it she expressed a desire that when Fred, who was the name of my French exchange partner, Frederic, when he comes to England, that I should lock him in a cupboard for 2 weeks and not let him out. I wish I had. It was torture dragging him around school and with my friends, because he wouldn't speak to anybody, he wouldn't drink, he couldn't play sport. He had the coordination of my grandma, who had been dead for 10 years at that point. He couldn't speak a word of English. Like, the unwritten rule of the French exchange is that the English can't speak French, but all the French speak perfect English, so it's not a problem. I got the one French exchange partner who not only could he not speak any English, none of his family could speak any English either. And at every opportunity, I was just off with the other French people or the other English people.
But how good was he at chess though?
I don't know. He was just he was just like 5 yards behind us, walking like with his head at the ground most of the time.
Okay.
We lost him on a family trip as well, which was quite funny. Because when somebody's kind of shuffling behind, you kind of don't really notice when they're not there. But we found him again eventually. We normally lost Fred in Cambridge.
So how are you tying this story back into Alphen?
I forgot how I got onto that story in the first place.
Religious Americans, I think, is what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
That's
so
true.
he was in the court. Yeah, so I mean, you do get heavily religious people in Europe, but the general person, especially in England, unless they belong to a different religion, you get very few people who are heavily Christian, and the ones that are tend to be what I call New Testament Christians, when they're all about love and forgiveness and being nice. Whereas Americans seem to be the Old Testament, hellfire, this is a sin, that is a sin, you're all going to hell, which is in this country generally reserved for the insane person standing on a box shouting at strangers in the town centre. Yeah. But ordinary people tend to, they might go to church once a week if they're a Christian. And
incidentally, when I went to the FA Cup final a few weeks ago between Watford and Man City, we lost 6-0. On the walk down from Wembley Park Station to the stadium, it was just if you've never been to Wembley, it's about half a mile walk, maybe a bit less than that, and it's just like all the fans walk down it, and there's always sort of like drink stands, this, that, and the other. And there was one bloke doing exactly what Dave just said there, had like a placard saying, you'll go to hell unless you repent, all this, that, and the other. And as I'm walking past him, he's shouting it all out at everyone, and just a beer has just come from behind me, just clocked him. Yeah, just absolutely drenched him in beer. It's absolutely glorious. And then he's just got a big cheer. But I admired his perseverance, to be honest. He was just, no one was listening, but he was trying.
One of these mad people really upset one of my friends when we were teenagers. So we were in Derby city centre going shopping, as all the cool kids in the Midlands did those days. And there was this, whack job religious nutter shouting at passers-by. There was a group of 4 of us. He basically went straight into the face of one of my friends and yelled, "Fornicator, you're going to hell." Comes in my face, goes, "Fornicator, you're going to hell." Goes to the third of my friends. He's like, "Fornicator, you're going to my hell. You're going to hell." Took one look at my other friend, who was a bit ugly. Didn't say a word to him. He's like, he was like, he wanted to be called a fornicator because he wanted someone to think that he was capable of having sex. This was back when we were like 15 or 16 or something. And I think
humiliated by
just
the
that
religious
even
guy.
the local homeless religious whack job didn't even think anybody could have it with him. So yeah. But anyway, so Mario Kart
Nice.
64 meets.
Yeah.
Zargoff, you're
Yes.
going, I believe. I
Yeah,
hope.
yeah.
Fantastic. Are you going to play?
Well, yeah, but I haven't quite decided which modes yet. I guess I'll just play time trial and battle mode and maybe one of the others.
Yeah, so this is the first year we're not doing all the modes.
Right.
Normally at the Euro meets we do time trial 1 tries.
Yeah.
We do GP with shortcuts, GP without shortcuts,
Yeah.
4-player versus with shortcuts, 4-player versus without shortcuts, and battle mode. And we also do another form of TT1 try, which is kind of like a side contest called Last Man Standing,
Sure. Yeah.
which is the slowest person eliminated each round,
That's
rather
me.
than the more traditional CDM one. But I think to cut down on congestion, because quite often we're just playing from 12 till 12 constantly every day. These meets, like lots of competitions, lots of chance to do well and stuff. But I think they thought that we'd get more people and we'd have less time to be organized, especially being in a venue rather than in a Airbnb place, which we're normally at, or a rented gaming house.
Right.
So they cut it down to the time trial 1 try, battle mode, 2-player GP with shortcuts, and 4-player versus without shortcuts.
Right.
Which kind of makes me sad, because in terms of GP, I much prefer GP without shortcuts than with shortcuts.
Yeah.
And battle mode, I just really couldn't care less. And I don't think most people could really care less about battle mode. It's normally a throwaway competition where you just relax and have a bit of fun.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
to
That's why I'd like to play battle modes, because it's just a bit of fun. I have no standings of grandeur.
Yeah. But when you're in like a 4-day meet and you're doing four things, when battle mode is going to probably form most of one day.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you mean. Yeah.
It's not the few hour throwaway thing we do whenever we have a time and quite drunk. And last MK64 meet, gosh, was I drunk, because it coincided with the World Cup.
Right. That's right.
And on 4-player versus day, I actually made it to the final. So I did my semi-final, and then after my semi-final, England decided to play a World Cup quarter-final. And for some reason, we stocked up the fridge with like 7.5%, 8% beer that day. So we had a few hour break watching the football, and watching England play. My drink just goes from full to empty every 5 minutes, because watching England play is nerve-wracking. And
Yeah. You
it
need
actually
that.
turned out to be about as smooth a quarterfinal as it could ever go. We beat Sweden without an issue, but I still drank an absolute ton. And then we had to play the final. So it was me versus Matthias, Zocchi, and Dan Luntzer. And those three I would rate as probably the 3 top versus players in the world. I know the Americans will probably throw Beck in there. Dan Burbank, I think, would throw himself in there, even though he didn't even make the VA final last year. But to me, those 3 are the best. I'd put Beck on par with Zocchi. I'd put Matthias and Dan Luntzer as the top 2. I got absolutely trashed. I mean, I already was trashed, and then in the final.
Right.
I think Dan Luntzer getting so good is what stopped Zocchi having any chance in the 4-player versus in the Euro meets. Because, I mean, Zocchi's, he's a great player, he's fast, but Dan Luntzer is Matthias' fast level of driving when it comes to 4-player versus. And Zocchi was more slightly reserved in his driving, but more item heavy. In the initial Euro meets, his only real rival was Matthias. So it didn't matter if he was driving slightly slower, he could specifically target one man the entire way with items. As soon as Dan Luntzer came in and was driving at Matthias' speed, all of a sudden Zocchi was finding himself against 2 people who were driving faster than him. And it's infinitely more difficult to try and target 2 people than it is to specifically target one.
Sure.
I think we saw that the year when Dan Luntzer nearly won the 4-player versus. where Zucky had been targeting Matthias and Dan Luntzer was just winning. And it was only when Matthias did his typical Matthias thing and wins like 5 out of the last 6 races to pip it by a point, kind of thing, that it turned around. But I find it very hard to look beyond Matthias and Dan and Luntzer in the multiplayer modes in GP and versus this year.
Sure. No, I get that.
Battle mode will be whoever wants to try, which is probably going to be Zoki.
Are there any what do I call this? Battle mode players outside of just casual or having some experience from meetings? Is there any specialist? There's no Drew of the MK64 world.
Not that I know of. There are people who were decent at battle mode, or back in our first meet in 2013, there were a couple of people who'd played it a few times, so they were better than everyone else. But no, we're all scrubs at battle mode. You can put in random people who very little experience, and they'd be up to most of our level within a few hours when it comes to battle mode.
Right.
I mean, if you want a gold and you've got some people to practice against, force your missus to play against you or something like that, I'm sure you could at least have a good shot at a medal in it.
There's an ouch in there somewhere. Anyway,
I finished 3rd in battle mode once. I was doing. I mean, I finished 3rd in GP shortcuts once. I didn't even do any shortcuts. That was the level of our GP shortcut.
Yeah.
Because people practice on 1 player, and it's a lot easier with 1 player than it is 2 player. But time trials should be the big contest this year with Dan Burbank coming over. It's been close in recent years between Matthias and Dan Luntzer, but with Dan Burbank there, it should be quite a big fight in the TT1 tries.
All right. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that, sure. What I'm looking most forward to is the off time when we're, enjoying a triple or 2 and circuit breakers. That's my time to shine.
Are you bringing circuit breakers?
Probably, yeah.
Because I don't think anybody else would.
Like Carol has it.
Oh, Carol's coming as well. Is Carol going to play in these modes?
Yeah, he's gonna play in a couple as well. Actually, I think he might be playing all the modes.
Okay, because what I was going to say is if you want someone to commentate, I may decide to step out on either battle mode day or GP shortcut day.
Yeah,
So.
I was actually going to ask about that, but probably.
I mean, I'll certainly be. I'm tempted to play battle mode because I've finished 3rd there a couple of times in the past. But GP shortcuts, I just really don't want to.
Yeah, that's pointless for me too.
I just tried most of it. If they changed it and did GP non-shortcut, then I'd be on it like a rash. But shortcuts, I just don't like it. But yeah, triples is good. Hopefully, somebody will put in an order for specials behind the bar.
Yeah, I think actually I saw a picture from the bar like a few days ago. They really updated the place.
Oh, righty, because it wasn't until the last year that I found out that they had a load of bottles of Le Choufs behind the bar.
No, they were gone.
Huh.
I know that they were gone once we finished drinking them all.
No, they were gone like 2 days before the CDM ended.
No, I was drinking them all that night we were playing circuit breakers.
Yeah, but who the fuck knows which night that was?
That was the night we were open till they stayed open till like.
Oh yeah, it was
2
the
a.m. or
second to
something.
last night, I guess.
It was whatever night they decided to stay open till like 2 a.m. or something. I mean, you might have stayed on an extra night.
Yeah, I don't remember anymore. But,
But,
at some point
yeah.
they were out of triples, that's for sure.
Yeah, they had all those behind them. Yeah, they ran out about midnight or so.
Oh, okay.
So the last few hours they were all gone. Actually, they ran out of cold ones, and they were like, I'm like, well,
yeah,
okay. I'll have the warm one. That's fine.
Yeah.
Classy boys.
I was never a left triple fan, so when the choice was that or
I was just
triple.
drinking whatever the cheapest stuff was there, I think, when I was there.
Was
Yeah,
it
so George.
Jupiler or some shit?
Yeah.
I think it's Dutch, so it's going to be pronounced Hoopler.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the.
Oh, Hoopile. Yeah.
Although I
Hey,
put on my
Juice, do her best.
Oh, no way. I'm not touching that one.
All right.
I always put on my best Midland accent, and I refuse to pronounce foreign words when I'm abroad. So it was I would ask for the Jutplia or the Van Hertog. They were the two lagers they had.
All right.
I think it was like Huplia or Jan Herto or something, but I was like Jutplia or Van. If you're going to put that letter there, I'm going to pronounce it.
Yeah, J is pronounced J.
And in Holland
right.
or the Netherlands, that can be a problem because they like throwing lots of extra letters which don't get pronounced.
Yeah.
Lots of J's and I's and K's
86%
and H's.
J's and I's, isn't it?
I mean, you only have to look at Carroll. I mean, you look at his last name. What is that?
Dweeven Bowden, I believe Joe thought it was.
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
point.
I thought it was Dweevenbone, yeah.
I always called him Dygenboat.
It means carrier pigeon, by the way.
It does.
Is it Dweevenboden, Divenboden?
Duivenboden.
Dweeven Bowden is what I used to think it was. I don't think that's...
Mind you, the French should know better. Like, how'd you say Billy's last name?
Billy?
Who's Billy?
Yeah, William.
Oh, the Veitch, isn't it?
What?
I say Leviach.
Oh,
Leviach,
yeah.
potentially,
Leviac. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll probably go for Leviac as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tend to do a
Mario
lot of
86.
guesswork on stream, in case nobody noticed.
Although talking about names in SMK,
Yeah.
I'm delighted to see that Cum Legend is signed up.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
again.
one and only. And Silver Jesus.
Silver Jesus too.
But
Silver Jesus versus Come Legend
the
again.
funny thing with Cum Legend is his actual name is Cum Receiver or something.
No, I thought it was Cum Connoisseur.
Oh, Cum Consumer. That's it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
is it Cum
right.
Consumer?
Consumer. That's the one.
Cum Consumer. I suppose Cum Legend is a step up from Cum Consumer.
If Come Legend wasn't good enough.
Oh shit.
I think I think maybe he's got two names, depending on which side of the porn action he's on.
Sometimes I find myself just in the middle of a work day someday, and I'll just think of this guy's name,
Yeah.
just start laughing.
I know
Come
that
Legend.
feeling actually. So.
I mean,
Oh, dear.
if you just have to become a porn star, there is no other option with a name like.
I just assume he is. I mean, you can't get a real
Yeah, he's
job.
got... yeah, everyone would laugh at you, like we're doing.
Yes.
Oh, he's so funny.
Hello,
He kept,
I'm cum consumer. That's not good.
he kept challenging me to fights all CDM last year. In like buddy ways, but he's like 5'2" and like 12 pounds. Absolutely. I think there's some photos of me like just holding him upside down on the last night.
Okay.
I literally just picked him up, turned him around, held him upside down. funny guy.
Well, actually, I think we're gonna end on this high note.
It's got to be
Very
it,
good
right?
high note.
I can't think of a
beat
better
that.
way to finish this one.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll do some pre-CDM
Editing.
and MK64C hype things when time comes, or shortly after, whichever. But
If you want to hype something, get Zoki on. He's always funny.
okay, I actually never spoken to him. I think.
Well, he claims to be Croatian, but he's clearly Russian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
Nice.
he's great. He's fun. He's very relaxed and chilled, but he's also quite passionate about Mario Kart as well. And unlike some of your guests, he's actually good at the game.
Oh, all right.
I
You
don't
leave me
know-
out of this.
I don't know if he's certified outstanding, but
Yeah.
have to throw that in one last time.
Actually, the thing that weighs the most around here is if it's Clark approved or not.
That's
No,
right.
Zarkov approved.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sure it is.
Sorry.
But yeah,
I
Zoki
actually have
would be good.
I have one last note.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever spoken to you guys in the past about it. I've always wanted to make an SMK themed arcade cabinet.
Right.
Yeah. So with but it's got a SNES inside of it. It hasn't got like a Raspberry Pi doing some sort of shit version of SMK. It's going to be like an actual SNES with a butchered pad, with but soldered on buttons and stuff in to make it look like an arcade cabinet.
Nice.
Because I always thought it'd be funny to play SMK with a joystick and buttons like the old school ways.
Oh,
Should be hilarious.
I actually have that set up.
Yeah, I've also
Right,
played on one
okay.
of those too.
Is that
so-
that giant piece of wood you posted a picture of? Everyone thought
Yes,
you were
that's
going
what
to
the
build a
reason
wooden
I'm saying
plane.
this is that I've actually started building it now.
Oh,
so,
it's happening. Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's happening. So I'm hoping by the end of the summer, it should be finished.
Yeah,
and
bring
up,
it to CDM
and then
Park.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. But I don't think it'll fit on carry-on luggage on EasyJet. But
Easy.
It's easier than you think.
yeah, I'll
you
certainly
get
invite
Episode
some
of
people
Seinfeld
over.
with Frogger.
Right.
And you let you put one piece of luggage in carry-on. That's what I never book EasyJet. So I always like to take a second bag with my laptop and stuff.
Oh, that
My
makes
2
sense,
trips to Alphen this year. One I'm going BA, the other I'm going KLM.
KLM
can't remember
No,
what
we're
boys.
it's
flying in
around.
style.
But they both let you take a second carry-on bag. So
Yeah. KLM let you do whatever the fuck you want.
my best
Yeah.
airplane journey ever was KLM. That was a
Same. Easy.
11 or 12-hour flight to Venezuela when I was 18.
20 complimentary beers. Is that where this story's going?
So I was meant to be in business class. My dad
Sure.
cheated out and gave my free business class ticket to the airport and bought me my tickets. Part of his work, I got free return tickets. So
I can't actually hear anything right now.
Oh, yeah, you've gone robot on me.
Yeah, we all roboted, I think.
Yeah. Here I could robot.
This is a funny conversation right here.
It's only here in the Northern Robot.
Alright. Let's give it a minute.
You believe in feel inside the same. I really don't think I'm strong enough. Do you believe in love?
Oh, come on!
I can't even remember the words.
It's like Mario's just singing.
I can feel
Oh,
something inside. I really don't think it's fixed now. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Please stop.
All right. Excellent.
Should we just quickly wrap it up while we have audio?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna
We'll
have
be
to
back.
save your story for some other time, I guess, Moll.
To be honest, it's just another story like toilet RNG and other stuff like that.
Right. Well, I tend to enjoy
Toilet
those.
RNG.
That's a good story. Classic.
But ask me about it in Alphen. It's
Sure.
not that funny, but it was a mixture of fantastic and very scary.
Nice.
All right. Sounds good. I'll remember to ask you. Anyway, thanks guys for joining, and I guess that's it for now. Hopefully, we'll do another show before Mario Kart 64 Championship. But anyway, see you next time.
Yep, cool.
Slaters.
Bye.
For the director's cut, get Carol to put a load more Hoff memes at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, we all agree on that.
See ya. And
See you
happy
later.
birthday, everybody.
All right. Cheers.
Thank you. Fiddle pip.